All right, today we are going to talk about quality. So why did I choose Young Living? And I really like to drive this one home because I have seen people harmed very badly using other oils. Okay, so I only advocate for Young Living. When we were deciding to travel and teach about holistic health across the United States, I really had to make sure that I was on a strong foundation of quality, because if I'm going to sit here and tell a lot of people on stages, hey, this is what you need to be using, then I need to make sure that the product works and it is what it's labeled as. Okay, so I want to show you a visual of what that looks like, because if we were in person together, I would just let you smell these two oils and you would be like, this knocks it out of the park. It smells like an orange. This one smells a little bit like chemicals, okay? But we're not together, right? So I want to show you a visual of what it looks like of quality, okay? So has anybody ever used essential oils and you're like, that stuff doesn't work? My friend swears by peppermint. She says it's great for headaches. It gives her amazing energy, cools her down, right? All of the things that peppermint does. And then you go over to Walmart and grab you some peppermint and you're like, dude, that stuff smells rank. Gave me a headache. I don't know what you're talking about, crazy lady, but that stuff's nasty, right? I'm going to show you why the stuff that we buy in the store does not work, okay? So in the essential oil industry, essential oils actually fall under cosmetic laws, okay? There's no labeling, there's no governing body for essential oils, so it's really hard because the labels are basically like, just throw them out. There's anything that it says on the label is null and void. This one actually says 100% pure essential oil, and that can be trademarked. So a company actually buys the trademark, 100% pure, 100% essential oil, 100%, whatever it is, they own those words and can put them on there. So that's one way they get through the labeling laws. Another thing in this industry of cosmetics is, in the industry, to have a 100%, so say you want to label it 100%, it has to be 5% of this bottle has to be 100%. The rest of the bottle can be whatever. Okay, so they only have to prove that 5% is 100% to be labeled 100% pure. Another thing is, like, if you ever see it where it says keep out of reach of children or avoid direct sunlight, well, that's true with any citrus oil. Okay, whenever you put a citrus oil on your skin, just don't put it like right here and go out in the sun. Put it underneath your shirt, okay? Because we use like lemon, lavender, and peppermint are great for allergies, right? My son uses those for his seasonal support. He used to be on 6 different medicines and now he just uses essential oils, but he needs to use it when he goes out. So we actually roll it down his spine and he keeps his shirt on, obviously. Okay, other things that you're going to be looking for in labels that might be like, hey, don't buy that. One, anything that doesn't say Young Living. But beyond that, let's look at what else is in the label, right? Mineral oil. Mineral oil is often put in there, but mineral oil is linked to organ system toxicity. It is made from petroleum oil, which is gasoline. It aggravates acne and clogs pores and causes premature aging. So I do not want that in my oil at all. Okay, so I'm going to show you what this orange oil does and then what Young Living's orange oil does. So we'll put a little bit on here. I actually had to take the little reducer off because it's so thick. Do you see that? Okay. See how it's sitting right there? Just sitting there. Just chilling. Okay, so that's what this oil is doing. By the way, my dog is about to freak out because she loves balloons. Look, she's going crazy already. Okay, so that is what the orange oil does from, I actually got that from Whole Foods for $15, people. Okay, pretty mad about it because this is a 15 milliliter for $15. This is a 15 milliliter for $15. And this one actually works, right? Okay, so I want to show you what Young Living's does. Okay? All right, Ab, I know. Look, it's going to pop in her face. Oh, it popped in my face. Okay, so why did it do that? Like, she loves this whenever I do this video. Look, she's going absolutely crazy because she knows that she gets this other balloon. So this one is still sitting on top. See that right there? It'll sit there. It has never popped on itself. Abby will actually pop it because my dog loves balloons. She likes the little nub thing. I don't know why. She's a Mastiff and balloons are her favorite thing. So back to the oil. So why does it do that? What is happening is that she's going to pop it. It's going to get loud. It'll be okay. It sits on the surface of the skin, and that is not what we want when we're dealing with essential oils. We really want it to penetrate the skin, and that is supposed to happen within 22 to 26 seconds, get into the bloodstream, absorb into every cell of the body so that we can really start the process of healing your body naturally by supporting it with essential oils, right? So do not buy stuff from the grocery store or from Amazon or from Revive, right? There's all these places like Facebook. There's this huge thing of Revive and, oh, it's better than Young Living. They basically just pay the people to give an opinion like that, but it's the same stuff. It's the same stuff. You literally can't sell frankincense for $10. I'm sorry, if you understood where it came from and what went into frankincense, you would go, that's impossible to create that product for $5, right? What you can do is add 5% of frankincense and fill the rest up with carrier oil. You think it's the same thing because it has like a similar scent, but it has zero therapeutic properties. It surely is not going to help those cancer cells. If you want to know what I'm talking about, go look up the National Institute of Cancer Research with frankincense. They actually had to use Young Living's frankincense because our frankincense is the only farm in Oman where the tree originates, right? So it has to be a boswellic tree. It makes boswellic acid. Boswellic acid is what they found to slow down the rapid aggression of cancer cells. So when the National Institute of Cancer Research was looking into these studies, they knew that they had to get it from a certain region. They knew that they had to get it from a certain company who is the only company that owns that farm. Young Living, and they were able to see amazing results with it. So I always feel bad when people read that article, go buy this from Walmart or Whole Foods or Amazon or wherever you're getting these knockoff oils, and they're like, I didn't have the same results. And I'm like, yes, I know you didn't. Okay, so I want you to understand it is very imperative that you get quality essential oils in your home, and that is my job to try and teach you that. On top of how to use the products, right? So we're going to go over how to use them in a couple days, and that part is super easy. Young Living has a seed to seal promise. So really what that is from the seed until we seal the bottle, we are in charge of absolutely everything. We do not third party anything in our company. We hand pick our seeds from the best flowering crops of that year. So we actually do it in a 3-year rotation. So this year's lavender that they're yielding came from a seed 3 years ago. And what they do is they walk up and down the fields and they find the bushes that are the largest and most beautiful and vibrant. They take those seeds because they want our crops and our oil yield to get better every single year. Okay? Amazing stuff like that is what Young Living does. They also hand weed a lot of their crops. If they're not hand weeding, they actually have goats. Okay, so we have farms all over the world because we like to grow in the area that it is supposed to be grown in. And we have goats that will eat different weeds in different areas that are popping up. So we have goats in Young Living that eat our weeds. We also have a distillery on every single farm. This is imperative. These are the small little things that Young Living says this must be done. I will not have it any other way because we understand homeostasis of a plant. So when a lavender bush is growing and you cut it, you are taking it out of homeostasis. It is now starting to die and starts the oxidation process, right? So the oil that would yield out of that in a couple days is going to be basically junk. But you have 2 hours, okay? 2 hours from the time you cut that tree, bush, to yield the oil out of it. So you have to cut it, get it in a bundle, get it to the distillery, and start the distillation process, and you only have 2 hours to do that. So if you don't have a distillery on site, imagine how long that's going to take you, right? So you're going to have to cut it, bushel it, get it in the back of a truck, drive it to a distillery, unload it at the distillery, hope that they're still there, right? Put it in the distillery and distill it. That is not going to happen within 2 hours unless you have a distillery on site at every single farm, which Young Living says that is part of our seed to seal promise. That we want to get the best oil out of the plant for you so that it is doing the proper thing for your body, right? So it's things like that that truly make me absolutely love Young Living. Another thing is I want you to be extremely careful because I am going to be giving you recipes and ideas and all the things over the next couple days, and I truly just want you to be safe because I have seen, especially with this oil, I had a friend who was like, hey, you told me that orange really helps with uplifting, and I was really, in a funk, and it was just that seasonal kind of depression thing going on. So I took a bath and I poured this in there, and she literally showed me, she was laying in the bathtub, and it was a red burn all down her body where the water had been sitting on top. She's like, I will never use that oil again. I said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. This was at the beginning when I was really timid about like really advocating for Young Living. And I didn't want to be like, hey girl, don't use that stuff. But now I'm like, hey girl, don't use that stuff, because I have seen kids have asthmatic responses where they go in a full-blown asthma attack because they're using a cheaper oil. We have read multiple articles online of cats dying. Yes, essential oils are safe for your cat. No, these are not safe for your cat. The problem is a lot of those have chemicals inside of them. So they use a chemical called hexane during the distillation process, right? So if any bottle says organic, I want you to understand that literally doesn't even fall into making an essential oil. So the word organic only falls in the category of growing the crop, but they are legally allowed to use a chemical during the distillation process and still label it organic, which is why Young Living doesn't label ours organic. Even though we are organic, we're actually a grade above organic. If you were to look at the organic labeling laws, they say like you can't use chemicals in the water within a 20-mile radius. Young Living expands that even further. But there is a chemical called hexane that they use to pull more oil out of a plant so that you yield more product, right? People are greedy. And the problem is they try to boil that chemical off, and you get a very chemical scent. When people smell this, they're like, what on earth is that smell? It smells horrendous. But it has hexane is a known carcinogenic. So 3 seconds from the time that you smell it, it's in your brain. You got to be really careful with that. Okay. Another thing is, it's really bad for your skin. It's really bad for, sorry, did you see that fly? He's like totally attacking me. Your pores, like I talked about before, we have to be safe. So I only teach about Young Living essential oil, and I do this because I trust them, right? And I do teach about the starter kit, and the reason I do that is because I know that this box has the best bang for your buck. You are able to get over $460 worth of product, and you get a diffuser, right? So you get a diffuser, and you get 12 oils, and you get hand sanitizer, and you get sanitizer spray, and you get a roller fitment, and you get Ningxia Red, and you get a 24% discount for the rest of your life, and all of the things for only $165 instead of buying it individually at over $466. So I teach out of this box, and I try to really help people see the value in this because I want you to get started on the right foot. I really want you to have all the products that you need in your home on a day-to-day basis. This is called your everyday oil collection, and I can genuinely advocate for that. We use the oils in there every single day in our home. Every day, whether it's gut health, immune, energy, sleep, skin, like brain health, all the things, like everything that we have daily going on, we basically turn to the oils in there. So over this next week, I will be teaching you how to use those and how to implement them in your home in a cost-effective way. And I can't wait to show you all of that. But again, I just wanted to show you the difference in these two oils and why it's imperative that you get quality oils in your home. Whether you got to save up for it or you got to host an event like this and get up some product credit, whatever it is, we need to get quality essential oils in your home, because honestly, you're just wasting your time and possibly harming your family and your pets when you're using knockoff products.